Hello and welcome to the Amazon Tools League. I am here with Max from Nova, a super new, or relatively new, innovative Amazon reporting tool. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks, David, for having us. So happy to be here today and to present Nova. Lots of very exciting things to share with the audience.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Well, as you may know from previous demos, I like to start with a little background info on the company. How did it all get started? What made you build Nova?
Yes, absolutely. So very good one. Basically, it was started 2 years ago now. So it's not absolutely new, but just it takes time to build those data pipelines, and I can talk more about that later. Basically, it was started by Antoine, who's also my brother and so now business partner.
Oh,
He worked at SellerX, which is a big European aggregator. I think you've heard about David, or that you know,
I
as the
actually
head of.
worked there like shortly.
Oh, you work there for okay, okay, well,
Yeah.
even better. And so he was like leading the data team, and really thought that the stack to manage like multi Amazon accounts, large setup, complex setups, many SKUs or agency setups was really broken at the time. Was using some like legacy tools that are doing great job, but more for managing one or two accounts. But when you need to stitch between 10, 50, 100 or 200, I think today we have a record like a client with 330 Seller Central connected to the platform. It was a bit tricky. So that
Yeah.
was the starting point of the company. And on my side, I joined now almost a year ago. I leave my job. I was working for a US company. I left my job and basically joined to do the go-to-market side of things when the product was really ready and when we found like basically product market fit to speed things up.
Cool. And the name Nova is just, does it mean anything or is it?
I'm gonna be like, I think it's gonna be super disappointing, but Nova, it just because I think it sounded good to
It sounds good. Yeah.
my co-founder when he wanted to start it. Actually, it's quite a bad choice because it's super popular and like SEO wise, it's a
Uh,
nightmare to rank for. But it sticks. It's good for brand. It's bad for growth.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
SEO is
so
kind of dead, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not really looking at Google rankings anymore. Cool. Then the second question from your 2 years so far, were there any major learnings for Nova?
Major learning yes, it takes time to build the clean tech and clean infrastructure for Amazon sellers. So we are in this craze now where everyone start building their own stuff, which is so great actually, but which also reinforces the need for clean, accurate, and refreshed data. And so that's also a big move we're doing right now. We are partnering with Lovable, that you
Mm,
may know, David.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
we are
course.
building a connector with them. So basically, you have your Lovable account. You can just as they do with SEMrush or other company start building with context and say, okay, I want to build the PNL for marketplace Germany, I don't know, last 6 months, and just prompt your way into your custom software without, taking care of the whole data engineering part, which is just a nightmare. Maybe for a quick note, we have, I think, 300 like rules just for building the PNL, like VAT on different countries, etc.
Oh,
It's huge. So we understand this part. It's almost impossible if when it's not your full-time occupation, when you're an agency owner or I don't know, managing a brand. Though building on the top of AI builder like Claude or Lovable, you have time to do that, but you need the data. So that's I think our biggest learning and our biggest bet for the next year.
cool. So is that something we will already see in the demo? Is there like a part of it already ready or not?
So it's fully ready, but the demo is more like about the product. And so
Okay.
maybe one thing to keep in mind, everything that you see in the demo, every metrics KPI is available for, we have two things, either data sharing. So you have your own app already, you need to plug a data source that's reliable. That's one thing we do, or you're starting from scratch and that's build your own app. But yeah, basically we have a lot of use cases that we could show from clients that have done it, but it's a bit of a proprietary data. But yeah, the thing to keep in mind is that what you see in the demo, we could like do it custom for you, and basically you can host it on your own domain with your own graphic charter, etc., which is quite exciting.
Awesome. All right, then I would say we just get into the demo. Let me just turn on your screen. All right. What
Absolutely.
are
So
we looking
everything.
at?
So we are looking at what we call the cockpit of Nova or command center. Basically, we really try to design the product with a mindset like less is more. We see a lot of competing software. They have tons of different pages, the one page for one use case, very specific. We try to build like exactly not that way. We try to do like really like a limited number of pages, but that are super flexible. So in this cockpit, one first thing to notice is that you have all your Amazon portfolio accessible in one click. So this one for the demo only has one account, but as I mentioned, I think we can have up to 100, 200, and we have one with 330 accounts that would be all listed under this little drawer on the left. When I click on items here, it starts filtering the data. So I'm going to go further and maybe we have all these parentheses in here. I'm going to click on this one and you will see my data getting filtered by the parentheses that I just selected. I can go a step further and now I can start building really my own dashboard. So for the sake of not having hundreds of pages, you can edit everything. So basically you can say here, sales, order, net profit, that's by default setup when you connect for the first time to Nova. But you can say, okay, I really want to focus, I don't know, on PPC, for example, on a view, because I want to check how my advertising has been doing recently. So I'm just updating my metrics. Okay, PPC sales, doing it a bit randomly. And then my dashboard will get updated with this view. And one thing that's very powerful and pretty cool is that now I can save this view and say, okay, that's view number X for parenthesis, the one that's been already selected, focusing on PPC. It's a bit long for a name of view, but you can do that like a unlimited number of times and basically just build your 10, 15 views that you want to look at and get it accessible in one click.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. One thing that's pretty powerful as well, so I'm going to remove that filter so that basically we see more products. So on this account, we have 4,000 SKUs. We think we have a client with 2.2 million SKU. It's an agency basically. Here you can keep customizing your workspace and your cockpit. So here in this column, you have all your metrics. I think we have like roughly 100 KPIs plus 150 P&L items. So really like all the lines that you would find in your settlement report. And you can say, now I want to play around. So I want to see PPC. I want to remove FB inventory because I want to see sessions instead. I want to put sessions in third because that's how I look at my data. I want to remove Amazon fees because I want to look at BSR. Or maybe best seller rank. Okay, I'm selecting it here, adding
Which
BSR.
bestseller rank is it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, David.
Which bestseller rank is it?
So you have all the marketplaces. I think this product is only selling in the US, so it might be only US. But if you're selling in multiple marketplaces, you would just have to click here, and basically you get the list of marketplaces and the ranking of your BSR for the different marketplaces. I'm going to try to find one.
Is it the main category or the sub?
Yeah, this one is main. This one is main category, absolutely.
Okay.
Are they all only selling in the US? Damn, that's not a good choice of account because this one is only selling in Amazon.com. But basically, you can imagine you would get Mexico, Canada, or Europe or Asian marketplace. Okay. So that's basically the cockpit. You can move to a chart view, obviously, which we really like reinforced lately. We had a lot of comments on maybe we can do a better job with dashboard, super flexible, 3 different metrics on that one, among like the KPI selections that I showed a bit earlier. One thing that's pretty cool, we really wanted to make this like a based on how Amazon sellers are actually working. So if you have like smart scenarios, I would say, so you can check in one click which products are losing money, so net profit down, which one have tacos that could be like estimated like too high, like 50%, which one are at stock out risks, and you can combine those filters. So here I have 2 filters activated, which products are losing money and also at risk of going out of stock. And we have a lot of different scenarios like that. So the one thing to keep in mind is that basically you can almost see anything for your whole portfolio in that view, which is really the main one that we have amongst others that I will demo right after. But yeah.
Cool.
One thing I can add on that part, David, as well, it's that so it's great to have the Amazon segmentation, but we wanted to go a bit further and allow our users to basically type product. So all the categorization live on the platform. So for example, product category here, so STPN and GoPowerWeb, it's a way for this portfolio to manage their categories and their their portfolios, their catalog, and they become, I can show how it works in the background, they become like custom categories. So instead of only having SKUs, child list, parenting, extra, which are great, you can now have, I don't know, kitchen and electronics, or we have like clients that are reselling, licenses. So it could be Star Wars, it could be, I don't know, any Mickey Mouse, etc. Whatever products you can think of, you can categorize it by tagging the SKUs and adding the category.
And then I can stack the performance based on multiple tags, multiple kind of
Yes.
layers. Yeah.
Of course. So one thing you can do, for example, here, let's group by product category. So you see it works as by. So now we're working on a product category. We can't have bestseller rank because that needs to be at SKU level. So let's remove bestseller rank for this one, and maybe let's add. We had this one here. Let's add just for the sake. Let's add the buy box, for example. Okay. All right, and now I'm having my performance by box, sales, PPC spend by category, and I have nested drawer with all my SKUs, which is quite cool. So yeah, really the idea is like make Nova suited to your the way you actually work with your data.
Yeah, nice, and it seems very very fast.
And that's quite fast. That's like really credits to my CTO Mathieu, who's been with us for a year and a half now. You can see the data is refreshed like roughly every hour. PPC, it's every 2 hours. We try to go as low as possible, but when you manage such huge amounts of data, sometimes it's a bit tricky. So I think the best we could achieve is like 30 minutes or 25 minutes. So, but 1 hour usually it's good enough for our clients. And yeah, and the app is super fast. Even though my Wi-Fi today is quite bad, you can see that it's pretty smooth for navigation.
Yeah.
Okay. David, do you want me to keep moving with the product, or do you have questions?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you feel are valuable features.
Yeah, of course. But I think the most valuable feature we have focus on 3 today for the time, but we have tons. But Cockpit, so basically your whole command center, you can have 150 Seller Central accounts, dozens of thousands of SKUs. We provide super clean analytics, very fast, refreshed for your whole portfolio. Then you have the P&L, obviously extremely important. I think that was the trickiest part to build the P&L. We thought it would be like a 2-3 months build. It's been 8 or 9 months, and we're still adding new fees because Amazon is adding new fees as well in the settlement reports. So what we do for the top line, we take the order business reports and basically build the top line on top of it. For all the Amazon fees that you have here, we take the settlement reports, and we have 2 sources of data, and we make them match. And every day we check every 10 minutes if source A and source B A minus B equals 0, and that's how we get to like cent cent accuracy level,
Yeah. Awesome.
And same thing you can do. You have those filters all across your app and your navigation. So let's say I want to deep dive and see the profit and loss for this specific child lesson. Okay, now it's active as a filter, and I can check how it's been performing lately. We also intend to add like a heat map on this one because it's a lot of data, and I think coming weeks we'll add the heat map so that you can best like you see outliers. And yeah, basically this captures all Amazon fees. You can add your COGS. 2 ways to add COGS, either period based or with batches, so first in first out, to make sure that it's super accurate. On this one, COGS have not been added. This is for the demo. But yeah, you can imagine that here there is a big minus that would be like 25-30% of the total sales to reach then gross profits, which will then lead you to Amazon fees, profit before ads, PPC spend, and now we get to our net profit, which is like super accurate.
From our previous demo a few months back, I think I also made a note of like seeing the different margin stages, like what did I write here? Gross margin, like having the variable costs included and maybe having the fixed costs included or something. Is that not?
Adding custom costs. So I think on this one, that's something we've considered a lot, but now maybe as
the contribution margins, the free contribution margin levels. Is that not visible somewhere?
The contribution, we've renamed it. So that would be contribution margin 1, contribution margin 2, contribution margin 3. But users were a bit confused. So some people were like, okay, contribution margin makes tons of sense. That's how we work. But some were like, in our mind, profit is net profit, gross profit. So we need something that's more. And so I think it was like 20% was loving the contribution margin naming, 80% prefer like something more standard
Yeah.
and like what. So we've changed it basically, but it's the exact same calculation. It's just,
Yeah.
thresholds of margin
Okay.
that we've renamed basically.
Okay.
Maybe one quick comment on the P&L. We get tons of questions on when are you adding TikTok, when are you adding Walmart, eBay, etc. This is definitely happening, but it's more Q3, Q4 projects because we still have tons of things that we want to master. Amazon being the first beast that we want to master before going to other marketplaces. So what we've done, and maybe something we can talk more after, it's like just like data sharing solutions where we provide all your Amazon P&L, all the fees, PPC spend, etc., anything you might need, and then you can plug our data as a source for a consolidated P&L, maybe with Shopify, TikTok, Walmart, any channel you're selling on. So definitely going to happen. But now we want like to do the first step, providing at least the Amazon data in a very clean way.
Yeah, that would be very nice, but also very hard to maintain, I guess, if you have to consider all the, I don't know, API changes from all these platforms. I've seen
Yes.
others struggle with that.
Yes. But that's why also we're taking the time. We are coding like crazy. But we want to do things properly, and not rush into like a very sexy, maybe an appealing value prop, like all your e-commerce channels in one place and consolidated P&L with data that would not be reliable. Like the North Star metric and everything we do is based on data accuracy and make sure that we provide like reliable information to our users.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm moving on to another one that's quite exciting that I love. So product tagging here, you can see, guys, basically that's where you can tag your products with your own internal categories, COGS, FBM, VAT. That's basically customizing your workspace with the inputs that we can't fetch from Amazon APIs because that's proper to your business. But one I want to share and show, it's the event tracker because it's quite unique. Actually, how did we come up with this idea? We saw tons of brand managers, like mostly for big companies like agencies or aggregators. They were doing changes and trying to report on the impact of those changes on the performance of their listings, of their catalogs. They would go to a spreadsheet, say, okay, I changed the image. Day number 3rd of June, I changed an image. Conversion rate was X before, conversion rate was Y after. It went up or down, super manual. And so we were like, there is something to do because everyone is doing the same thing, but they have nothing to kind of automate it. So now we have the semi-automated version, which still requires you to upload your event. So you can say for child day scene, maybe on the 17th of June, keyword change for child day scene. Okay, let's take one bit randomly. Selling on Amazon, keyword change. Let's call that a content change. Let's monitor. Usually conversion are very high, sales and maybe net profit. Okay, and now I create the event. What's going to happen is that everything I'm going to create is going to get logged, and that's where it gets to the automation part. It's basically now the before after view will automatically be downloaded. So I've changed the keyword on this ASIN selling here for this account. And we do daily averages because if you don't have the same number of days before and after, like the absolute value don't really make sense. But I can see that my conversion rate went from this to this. Obviously, it's completely random because we are doing this for the demo, but you can do it like super spot on for your catalog and any move that you're making. We will be able to track and provide the data that makes sense to analyze.
Nice.
And why I'm saying that it's now semi-automated because we are currently mapping all the use cases of what we could fetch automatically from Amazon. If you change an image, if you change a listing, description, A+ content, etc., that's things that can be caught like programmatically through APIs. And basically, we don't want to make too much noise, like sending 1,000 notifications a day. But when something important, maybe David, you've seen it in the past, but alerting systems, they can be like so tiring and useless because if you get
don't look
alerted
at
about
them anymore. You don't look
But
at the
yes.
notice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even more when you have 100 accounts, you
Mm.
just need like maybe the 10 things every day that really requires your attention. So we are taking this one to the next stage. It's going to be a big one. I think August project where we automate like fetching, filtering, and building some intelligence on how we share it with our users.
All right. Sweet.
Okay. So I think that's really like main ones. We have a lot of other features. So day-to-day view with a heat map. That's pretty cool. We can look at this rapidly. Again, all you're always available in one click. If you want to deep dive, just click on the heat map to see basically the outliers. So as I was mentioning, we are going to add that in the P&L view as well. So this one is quite popular with our users. We have an inventory feature with like sales velocity, current FBA available, reserved, inbound, and basically ASINs that are at risk. It's the same metric that we're using in the cockpit to alert you if there is a potential issue of going at risk for some specific ASINs. And yes, I think that would be like the main features. One thing that's very important, sorry, and maybe then I'll hand over the mic to you back, David. It's the workspace feature. We spent, I think, 2 weeks building this one. So now we are focusing mainly on agencies and aggregators and large accounts managing like 3 minimum, I would say, Seller Central accounts to 200, 300. And what they can do with Workspace is just allocate a Seller Central account to specific stakeholders. So if you have a client, you don't want them to see obviously the data of another client. So you can invite them and only like regulate and scope the data they have access to. And same thing for your teammates. If you have a brand manager, you're an aggregator with I don't know 100 brands, but this specific brand manager is managing 5 to 10 brands. Okay, you just give them access to their P&L, their data, so they don't get lost in things that are not really like relevant to them. And the last thing that you can do is just filter the pages that you can give access to, because like people looking at inventory, maybe they don't want to see the cockpit or see the profit and loss, because like it's different use cases, different jobs. So that's how we segment. Basically, high level, everything is aggregated. That's for you, like agency owner, you get like a view of all your accounts in 1 second. But then you want to maybe segment a bit the access level.
Nice. And I have to ask, in these times, you also have like AI kind of chats or building capabilities already, apart from the
Yes.
Lovable thing?
Mainly that's our big bet. So we had a few options with AI. So first we are building everything with Cloud Code, and that's why I think every month we are 2x faster than the previous one. It's just crazy how fast we can build right now that the foundation is here. So we had this request from users, but it was, to be super transparent, a bit blurry, even in their words, but like, we'd like to talk with our data, we'd like to chat and see what's happening. It's super appealing on paper, but when you're managing like 100K SKUs, I mean, it just doesn't work, to be honest. Or maybe I could be proven wrong, but I'd like to see a use case where talking with your data for thousands and thousands of SKU is really relevant.
We're talking a long time.
I'm sorry.
You would be talking a long time.
Yes, honestly, and honestly, if someone is watching this and want to get in touch to show me what they've built on this, like a chatbot for Amazon catalogs, I'm very eager to meet with them. But we went a bit of another direction, therefore, because obviously AI it's the future. What we saw are people looking to build their own tooling, custom dashboards, and also sometimes to impress their end clients for agencies, with their own domain, etc. And so we've created a partnership with Lovable, so the famous like AI builder European startup, to have a connector where basically you can connect Nova. So you need to sync your API to Nova, obviously, so we can fetch your data. And then with Lovable, you can start building on top of cleaned and structured data from our database. It's called ClickHouse. And like in 1 hour, you can start building. You don't have to do all the data pipeline stuff, and just you can prompt your way into your own dashboard. So that's really our big AI bet right now.
All right. So is there anything else you feel like users should see from the dashboard before we get to the final questions? Maybe, I don't know, did we already see the individual product dashboards and see like how you can analyze things over time developing? I guess we
Yes.
saw that with the event tracker, but is that the same? Probably the same
So
dashboard.
So what you could do basically here in your copy, just say you want to see at SKU level, and what you can do is just like change period of time very easily to see how it's working. So either you could do this in the day-to-day to have the day-to-day evolution, or you can just like change periods of time and say, okay, I want to see now last 30 days, the prior 30 days, the days before that, or last year. You can customize the period against which you're comparing. So maybe both last 30 days to last 30 days would be best, but like randomly, if you want to do another one, you can just do custom analytics.
So, for example, what I'm always looking for is to see the price trend over time, and then maybe the sales and profit and other things.
Yes,
CSR.
those. I think that would be the best way to do it in this chart here. So average price, it's an available metric. And let's say we want to see net profit. Let's go to the profitability section. All right. And here you can see it's adapting. Maybe that's not the best way to visualize. Maybe that's a bit better now. You can always remove metrics if you think it's too crowded. And you can do that for any
Product
dimension.
combination.
Yeah, any combination. So let's say here, let's take STPN again.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And the filters, maybe one more thing, they are end conditions. So if I select Amazon.com and this specific product category, I'm restraining what I'm seeing. It's not or, it's end conditions. So it's kind of self-filtering, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I think we got a good understanding of the tool. So unless there's anything else, we can, I guess, head to the final questions.
I think that's quite about it. So yeah, any questions, anything, I'm really happy to take them offline if someone's interested in learning more about this.
Cool. So then just some final questions for you. Namely, where do you see the tool going in the next 5 or maybe 3 years?
It's a very good question.
Multiple
So
channels, is that the focus, I guess? Or
yes. So I think the big bet we're taking now is to give like a clean data to our users to basically also see what they're going to build with it. I think it's going to be pretty hard for people to rebuild like PNL from scratch because like there are so many rules, data is a bit chaotic. So I think there is really like the bet is with Cloud Code, you can create front ends that are insanely cool. So I think SaaS, I don't really believe in SaaS apocalypse in a nutshell. I think SaaS are going to be so fine tuned and so high quality. When you spend your whole time building your product, obviously, I think the outcome is a bit better than what you could build in house. But some use cases might be very specific to your business. So you might want some internal toolings and build on top of data. So what the bet we're taking is like 50% we keep developing and improving our SaaS products that's working for most of our users. And the rest is like providing accurate, fresh data from all the sources. Like every meeting I'm having these days, it's like, can I have this data point? Okay, we don't have it yet. Like give us 24 hours, we will fetch it for you. So for Amazon, first, I think Amazon, we cover now maybe 85% of the data points. We still need a few more. And then other, so what's being asked is TikTok Shop, it's Walmart. So yeah, providing like clean data for people to build on top of it. So both sides. I don't know if that answers your questions, but that's how we see it
sounds
right
good.
now.
Sounds good. Going a bit of the Amazon way to be the infrastructure, 50%
Yeah,
for others to build what they need.
exactly.
Nice. And then finally, we have a question from the previous guest on the show, Damian from My Real Profit, which is how will you react to Amazon's new API fees for software providers? Will you be increasing prices soon?
So I think it was like postponed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Eventually.
postponed, but only postponed, right? So,
I mean, there was such a shield movement. I don't know. You say that in English. Sorry, in French you would say like people are holding their shield above their head because they are too mad about it. So they had to postpone it. And yeah, but I mean, that's a very good question. Now that it's postponed, it's not at all in our talks. But yeah, I think you need to put like maybe 50% on your own margins, 50% on the users, on the end users, because if your margin grow too thin, you can't hire, you can't keep building the product. So it's a very good question. So let's see what Amazon communicates. But I don't see them
more
like a
general question from me, like how do you see the split between API and MCPs, or like, do you still want to do most via API, or want or expect users to need the API the most in the future? Or
I'm
will
not sure.
AI agents kind of take over and I don't know, pull the data that they need somehow?
I don't know. Honestly, it's very tricky. I see the complexity in the background of for building that kind of software, and I see also the hype around the AI agents, and I totally understand it. There are a lot of use cases where it's amazing, but I'm wondering if for some complex data
Mm, that's my feeling.
intense use cases, it might not be a bit overhyped. Maybe in 1 year, I'm completely stupid and missing the point,
Yeah,
and
no, that's my feeling as well, especially for like reporting tools that
yeah.
are gathering all these informations. I mean, to ask an AI agent to kind of get that from all these places would be so costly, I think. Maybe at some point, not anymore, but yeah. So API to stick around for now. Cool. And then finally, just the question that you would like to ask the next guest and software founder.
Absolutely. But I think on the same direction, like what's the coolest use case that you've been solving recently with AI in the Amazon ecosystem? So not only analytics, maybe listing optimization, building like creative or building new content. What's the coolest use case and the adjusting PPC bids? Because all of this seems super sexy on paper and appealing,
Mm.
but I've still to see like those that are actually providing a solid ROI. And obviously, I'm not talking to everyone in the space. So, yeah, that would be my question. You might want to summarize it a bit for the next one, but yeah, that's the point.
I will. Cool. Then, yeah, thanks a lot, Max. That was very insightful. I think Nova looks very good, looks very
Thank you.
smooth. And yeah, certainly something to look forward to what's to come there in the future. And of course, what will be your ranking in some of the scoring systems that I will show in the Amazon reporting tools overview that will also come soon. Yeah, anything else you wanted to let people know, perhaps where they can find you, what's your favorite platform?
Yeah, they can find us on novadata.io. That's our website. And basically, they can start a free trial with the solution. So no strings attached. We don't ask for a credit card until you're super, super happy with the service. And just wanted to thank you, David, for hosting me today. It's been a pleasure.
All right, yeah, thank you. And just a final little mention, of course, you can find the link below and it will include a 20% discount on the first 3 months. So you can really give Nova a try. And yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks again, Max. And
Pleasure.
we'll see you around.